pedido de la nación por un cambio drástico en nuestras prioridades, una crisis global económica que no tiene precedente, yo creo. Es una oportunidad grande y al mismo tiempo que está creciendo el pueblo hispano, que somos más de 50 millones de población aquí en los Estados Unidos, yo creo que es una oportunidad y es un gesto muy importante que este presidente ha hecho hacia la comunidad hispana, que él quiere invertir en nuestro futuro.
Who do you feel is the best possible for you?
I am not endorsing or casting or betting on anybody in the race for the borough presidency. The mayor of the city has a statutory responsibility to call a special election in approximately 45 days. He will do that. There are people who are interested in being the next borough president of Bronx. Actually, following the steps of a Freddie Ferrer and then myself, it is obviously a seat that attracts some attention. And so this person has an opportunity to take up the mantle of leadership and move this world forward. But I'm not
Congratulations, first of all. DJ from Open Television of Bronx. We talked about the Hip Hop Museum. What do you think this Hip Hop Museum will do?
Well, my hope is that, we've laid out a plan for the International Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx because the Bronx is the birthplace of urban music. You go back to doo-wop, you go back to the fusion of Latin jazz and the big band era. This came from the Bronx and urban communities. This urban experience now manifests itself in a genre of music that has swept across the world. It is, I'm already almost too old to understand it, but it is an incredible phenomenon that is bringing young people together of all races and backgrounds around this new language. And so my hope is that the people who are working on the project will continue and that it will be a priority for the next borough president. But I wouldn't risk putting a timeline on it. I certainly want to help push this idea as fast as possible.
Two more questions. Two more.
Thanks. We had a good overview of your time in office. Can you maybe talk about some of the most important lessons you learned here in the Bronx that you're going to take with you to your new job?
I think, once you understand and believe that what the right course is, you have to stick to it. And leadership is often a very lonely and uncomfortable place of bringing people along. So it becomes a lonely place because you become the subject of criticism. So you got to have a tough skin. You got to show people that you really care and that the motivations are correct. There are a lot of naysayers. There are a lot of people who criticize for the sport of criticizing, or to see their name in print. That's fine. It's a free country. God bless them. I'm more interested in working with optimists and productive people in building stronger cities, and that's been a great lesson.
Last question.
In terms of the criticism, just to follow up, you were obviously criticized for some of the way the Yankee Stadium and the development took place. Is there anything you regret about that now that some time has passed?
I have no regrets other than to say that if we had to do it all over again, there are probably things that could have worked out better, and that's life. But you make your best effort, and then you move forward, and you take the lessons with you moving forward, but you don't dwell on
What lesson did you learn from that?
I think that certainly collaboration. I learned that not everybody is going to agree with me, and that when you are pushing change, it requires pushing. People don't just come along. The idea of building bigger parks, better parks, new stadium, office buildings, apartment houses, putting a community facility or a school in a neighborhood that doesn't want it, of course it's going to be wrought with controversy, but building cities is wrought with controversy. It is always somewhat inconvenient, and it requires, from us, being political and civic leaders, a bold vision and courage.
Thank you.
I'm going to give my Bronx
The last
Daily News guy one last shot.
No, simple question. Sort of on the empty stage, but do you think that the community board appointments should be held up for the next borough president since it will be coming in fairly soon? They're fairly important positions.
That's a good question. I hadn't even given it any consideration. I don't know what the statutory requirements are, so we would look at what's allowable. But there is a timeline that's already set for when these things happen. But it's an interesting question. It may make sense. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.